Doing. Still love that intro. It's very nice.
I like it. I like it much better.
How are we doing?
How are
Aram, how are we, mate? Good to have you in. Gonna be some good movie talk coming up.
we? There's a lot of movie talk today.
There is a lot we need
There's
to
a lot to talk about.
There is
I have-
indeed.
I have some very strong opinions on some movie talk today.
How we doing, Aram? You okay? Nigel?
Norwich, how's it going? How's your
So,
weekend been, mate? How's your weekend been?
Shall I have a quick rundown of what we are going to go over this evening?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Cool. So we'll do our traditional, just go over a few shiznies that we've been wearing this week.
Ooh,
A
baby.
few things that we've been watching.
Ooh, yeah.
A few of the topics are: what is one fragrance that you recommend to people? What fragrances did you initially not like, but you've grown to either like or love? From the movie side, we want to discuss the Warner Brothers receiving backlash over their decision regarding the streaming. We've got Marvel and Star Wars future slate of projects. And we've got a big movie game, brand new one. Should be very, very good.
Yeah.
We've got Deathstroke news. Got a little video that we can play regarding some news regarding that. And another topic that we want to go over is: do movie stars still bringing people into the cinema?
Oh, baby.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh, that's a lot of stuff. That's a lot of stuff to talk about.
It is a lot of stuff. We will be getting through it.
So who
Brian, how are we doing?
We've got Brian, we've got Tony, we've got Catty, Aram, Nige. How's it going, everyone?
Catty.
You had a good weekend, Nick. Have you had a good weekend? How are you?
It's been all right, you know. Besides the rain that has come down all night and
It's been
all day.
ridiculous today, hasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What about you, mate?
It's been a busy one. I've been doing a bit of DIY, and I went to IKEA today, which is always fun. But yeah, it's been all right. It's gone too fast, if I'm being honest, mate. Like, this weekend has just absolutely flown, and
Yeah,
it just like dawned on me earlier on. It's like, it's like Christmas in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's going stupidly fast. This year has just vanished.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy that this year can get to fuck, but at the same time, I'm like, it felt like it was March like a week ago, maybe not a week ago, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, Tony did a great interview with Joe, and yeah, it was cool to have him on. He's obviously very knowledgeable with his fragrances. Looked like he lost quite a bit of weight as well.
I was mesmerized by his collection. You just sat there, just like trying to just see a little bit more in the background. It's awesome.
He's another person who should be a lot higher than where they are, because he's been around a long time and knows his stuff. But yeah, good stuff, Tony. Really good. Cool. So, shall we go over what fragrances have we worn in movies that we've watched?
Yeah, man.
So, as we go over ours, do you guys want to drop in the comments what you guys have been wearing this week?
I'd be disappointed if you didn't. And do you
want to start us off?
Yeah, man. I've not really been wearing that much this week. I'm probably going to end up doing a review on it just because, and it's going to be featured in this later on as the fragrance I would recommend. So it's kind of a bit of a double whammy here. But I have mentioned a few times about a certain fragrance that I used to wear a lot when I was younger, or throughout my teens, and I've never been able to find it, probably because I've not really been looking that much. And I went and bought it this week So I got it back in my collection. I obviously got the perfume parlor one, and I was really happy with that. I haven't yet done a comparison side by side yet. I'm scared to, actually, because I don't want
Sounds
this. I
like
don't.
one needs to be done.
It does. It does. But yeah, I thought I'd get it. And to be fair, I've been wearing this quite a lot recently, or since I bought it, I've been wearing it quite a lot just because I just want to get back into it. So this little beauty here.
Ooh.
Mm, mm.
BC, thanks for coming in, mate.
I love the bottle of it as well. Like it's like a matte finish.
It is a nice bottle. Do you
It's
want to tell
lovely.
people what it is?
Yeah, of course. It's Ralph Lauren. It's Polo Double Black. Most people will be familiar with Polo Black because that's more of a popular. I think it's more of a popular release, and a lot of people that I speak to have never really heard of it, which I find quite surprising because it's fucking delicious. But yeah, so
Yeah,
I've been wearing that a lot.
it isn't one that is talked about, is it?
No, it's not one that's talked about a lot. To be fair, I kind of like you look on. I've looked on YouTube for reviews of it, and there aren't really that many reviews of it. I don't know if that's just because it's flown under a lot of people's radar, or whether or not people just don't like it. But you know, their loss is my gain. So I'll have them all. And
Tony's just put he finished Kingdom. Tony, put that bone down. And did you try and hold the mantis in? That's all I'm going to say.
That sounds like he's got some choice words.
Mm.
I was wearing Hendon by Rose Salas today. I was wearing that one for a change. I'm kind of been wearing that quite a lot as well. So it's just been familiar things, really. Nothing really much changing. So yeah. So what about you? What have you been wearing? How have you been smelling?
I have been wearing a fragrance that's been talked about quite a bit at the minute. And it was a sample actually off Tony. It's Hudson's 01.
Ooh.
And it is very delicious.
Is it?
I think Barry sort of summed it up. I think he made a post on it today. And he said it's like a sort of spicy Dior Homme intense. Yeah, it's very, very nice. And yeah, I sprayed some today. It's still on there. Performance is good on it.
The
Really
prices
nice.
of them are so good as well. Like even for the I think they've got like 30ml bottles, haven't they? Which is, if I'm going to get them, I'll probably get the 30ml bottles because there's no way there's no point in me getting 3 100ml bottles because I will never get through them. To be fair, I'd probably never get through the 30ml bottles. But I think they're only like 15 quid or something like that.
They're making some noise at the minute, so I can imagine they're going to eventually get bigger and the prices go up. So jump on it now while it's cheap, I say.
Yeah, I'm very tempted by them because, like I say, all 3 of them are going to cost 45 quid. So
yeah,
and I'd have them for a very, very long time, I imagine. So
yeah,
it's
I was surprised by it.
intrigued.
Very surprised. It's really nice. Hudson's 01, really nice.
Tony's recommended that to me as well, so I think it's getting, like you said, it's getting a lot of praise, isn't it?
Yeah. Just before I go into the other ones, Aram is been wearing a Zaro Pour Homme scent of the day.
Oh, some old school.
Some old schools. Brian Herod scent of the day. I've not heard of this one.
DL Rolly the door.
Rollian, kick down the door. Kick down that door. So another fragrance of mine was Naxos, Zerjoff. It's a very, it's one of them ones where it's very addictive. It's got, when I reviewed it, I talked about that it's got this creaminess to it that I really like. And it performs brilliant and smells very sexual. We've got someone in the house.
We got a guest.
We got a guest. Catty, gosh, who can remember? I've been wearing Byredo Rose Noir, Killian's Angel Share, Zerjoff More Than Words, Very nice. Mr. Yor, Chanel Law,
Genau.
Telia. Oh shit, Catty, you have been on it.
G'day
Yeah, bloody hell. Some right sprayage going on.
It's like you. We were talking about Angel Share a minute ago, weren't we? Like,
Yes.
is it as really good as everyone says? Because I find it very like something that's being hyped to the max at the minute.
Yeah.
And whilst I'm never going to go out and buy it, simply because of the price tag, I'd like to know whether or not it's actually as good as everyone says.
Should we pop our new guest in?
Yeah, you bring it. You bring him in, and I'll change the background at the same time.
Okay, mate.
Okay, mate.
Alex.
Greetings, everyone.
That's
How
not
are we
working,
doing?
Nick.
Oh, it doesn't fit. We'll
It
have to put
doesn't
the old
fit,
background
does it?
on.
Oh, hang on.
You've put me in a awkward position here.
There we go.
There we go. It's the
There we
comments. It's the comments
Yeah.
that are doing it.
The
I'll have
comment
to-
messed it up.
Yeah.
Sure.
How are we doing, Alex?
Yeah, all good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, good. Good to see you.
Thought I'd do a surprise drop-in.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
like the surprise. We get a little ding now when a guest comes in.
It's like it goes ding.
Oh,
Yeah.
hang on, what were you
We
just
can't-
pointing at there, Ant?
The
You just-
live, the live
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm aware that
Yeah.
we're live, don't worry. I
There
won't
you go.
swear.
Don't say
Front
fuck or
and
bagger.
That's what it is. Yeah, I was there like,
Yeah.
there's a thing where Bo Selector?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? Of course.
Yeah. So
We're moving up because of the comments. That's the reason why the,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
background looks a little
Very
strange.
distracting.
that's fine. The last episode, I was an emotional wreck, and the acting was better than the last 3 seasons put together. Definitely agree. This was Kingdom. Really
You
good.
watch any of Kingdom, Alex? No, me neither, mate.
Afraid not. Afraid
No,
not.
neither.
Yeah.
I don't
Probably
do
so
TV
complicated.
series, then. I give up on that.
Nick's on a Frank Grillo hype at the moment, so
Yeah.
And he's also the star of Kingdom, then.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this is not the Stephen Fry is a librarian detective, maybe, I think.
no, it
Definitely
definitely.
not.
There was
Not
a
that
show
one, no.
called Kingdom that was that.
Yeah.
And I
think there was
thought
like a
maybe
horror
there's
one as well.
crossover.
There's a horror
Kingdom
zombie one.
Hospital. Oh, is there also The Kingdom or something like that? It's called.
The
yeah.
Kingdom with Jamie Foxx in was a movie, I think, as well. Yeah, it seems like it's used quite a lot. It's not a very original name.
No Queendoms around.
No
Not like in
Queen.
this.
Not being
I think-
progressive.
Yeah, equal opportunities. We should be making everything the Queendom now.
So, Alex, how is your bang going?
It's good. I sprayed it once, and I'm too afraid to spray it again because it cost me a lot of money for not very much fragrance. I'll wear it over Christmas and let you know.
Okay.
But I mean,
little
I'm,
treat.
I'm staying with my brother for Christmas, so I don't think I'm going to be getting too much exposure to the outside world.
Okay. Do you
So-
like it though?
Yeah, of course, it's the greatest fragrance
Yeah,
of all time. What kind of question is that, Nick?
No, I thought it might have deteriorated.
No,
over time.
it's if anything, absence has made the heart grow fonder, and I think it's a better fragrance now than it was 10 years ago when I was wearing it first time around.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
But yeah, it's going to be a pricey one to keep on buying up if I have
Yeah,
to
will
use
be.
it in my rotation.
Where did
Especially
you?
if it's discontinued?
Is it the original that you got? Or
Yeah.
is it, yeah, you got the original. Where'd you get it from?
Fragrance Samples UK
Oh, I
Yeah.
on Nick's recommendation.
Yeah.
see.
It was about
Okay,
20
I'm-
quid for a little 10 ml bottle or something. So
Yeah,
I'm
Like 3 mil.
yeah. If 10
I'm
mil,
rationing.
if it's the only thing that you've got, 10 mils can go very quick.
Mm. Well,
Yes.
thankfully, I'm still working through my little boss,
There you
the
go.
little dregs.
Blasted through that.
I mean, that's a couple of years old at this point, but yeah.
All right. Okay. Get the dust off it.
So
Yeah,
we were
exactly.
we were just about to get into what we've been watching this week.
Okay.
You've
Ooh.
literally turned up at the best time possible, really.
Yeah.
Andy may well still turn up. I don't know.
Oh, okay. So it might be a double
Oh.
whammy.
He promised he would, but we'll see.
Double whammy. Okay. So with you being the guest, then
Yeah.
What have you been watching this week? I imagine
Well-
it's probably something you've already covered in the podcast recording.
Well, yeah, so we put out a special episode this week. So this week, bad stuff.
Okay.
Netflix original Christmas movies.
Oh, okay. Very bad stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
But also I did watch Mank as well, which I think I watched this week. So I'm gonna
All
Is that
right.
with Gary Oldman?
Yes, yeah, the David Fincher movie.
Hmm.
That is a movie about movie making, and that is going to be some people's cup of tea. And it's clearly a film that is in love with the idea of this thing and a bit of a passion project for David Fincher. It's fine. I just don't. I think it's one of his worst movies to date. And this is someone who's, he's obviously got a great track record for the most part. He's got a couple of duds in there, but you look at things like The Social Network, or you look at, Zodiac or Gone Girl, you think, oh, okay, these are really good movies. And then you look at something like this and you go, I don't know. For a certain audience who love Citizen Kane and who love olden days Hollywood and who love movie making and films about movie making, it will be right up their street. But for me, I'm just like, it took so long for me to feel like I was getting anywhere near into it, and then it just didn't really get me. So that's a shame. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. People will like it. It will win every Oscar, I'm sure.
Yeah,
but
that was one of those kind of movies.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just not one that I can. It's interesting because I don't think there's a huge audience for it. So maybe Netflix is kind of the perfect place because they don't report their numbers, so they can kind of go, "Oh no, it did. It did enough, and it was never meant to make money or whatever." So, good, because it wouldn't. Netflix Christmas movies. So this week we watched Dolly Parton's Christmas on the Square.
Oh God.
We watched Operation Christmas Drop.
Oh yes, I've heard of Operation Christmas Drop.
And what was the third one? Jingle Jangle: A Christmas Journey.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, I mean, they're all that kind of. Yeah, I mean, the problem is, I think good Christmas movies are so few and far between that you have to wade through a lot of shit to get to the good stuff. Not everything is going to be a Muppet's Christmas Carol. Not everything is going to be that good, unfortunately. I don't know if I agree with you, but I think I watched Jingle All the Way too late in my life.
Jingle All the Way is incredible.
I think I was 24 or 25 when I watched it for the first time.
Yeah,
so that might go.
Yeah, it's far too late. Yeah, far too late.
Yeah.
There's no Home Alone. Okay? It's no Home Alone.
Oh, right. Yeah, well, yeah. Home Alone is good.
Yeah.
I've seen it once. I'm sure it's good.
Only once.
Yeah, and I had this conversation with Andy last week that I'm fairly confident I've not seen all of Home Alone 2.
What?
I vaguely remember bits, but I don't remember
bits.
it all. I remember Tim Curry's in it, isn't he? He's the hotel manager or something.
Yeah, he's one of the better characters in it. Yeah,
that's pretty much all I remember. I know it's in New York, and he's. I think at one point he's in Central Park, and I remember that.
The bird lady.
It looks like Piers Morgan. The memes are doing the rounds.
They go around.
Yeah, so that's what we've been watching this week. By the way, all three of those Netflix movies, just
trash.
I don't know. Maybe if Christmas is really your kind of thing and you want to watch everything about Christmas, maybe. But Jingle Jangle, I'll posit, is not even a Christmas movie. It's set at Christmas, but it doesn't really make reference to Christmas too often.
I'm sorry, but if you're going to make a movie called Jingle Jangle, I don't think it's ever really going to. It's ever really going to have much traction.
It needs to be a midnight movie.
Maybe.
Definitely.
So what have you been watching this week then, Nick?
So one I actually watched today was this Ava. It was a bit meh. I think I don't know. I felt the fighting looked too choreographed. Jessica just, I don't know, she didn't just feel like a brutal fighter. It didn't feel like Atomic Blonde, where that was gritty with the stunts and the fight scenes. I think in this you could see some hits where they were missing. I think the standout was Colin Farrell, which he is in most things. But yeah, I think script's poor. Yeah, a few decent action scenes. Markovich is in it; he's okay. But yeah, it's just a popcorn film to watch. Nothing too stand out. One thing I would say is Gina Davis is in it, and I think she needs to be in a few more things. I think bring her back. I think the last thing I saw her in was the Exorcist series.
Yeah.
I think I only watched like a few episodes of it, but yeah, she was all right in it.
Has a series.
What was that?
The Exorcist has a series.
Yeah.
3-4 years ago, I think they started it. I don't know how long it lasted.
No, it didn't
but yeah,
last long.
I think she was in the first series, maybe only.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I got 3 episodes into it and gave up.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if that's a recommendation or not. I mean, it's not.
Yeah, the first few were all right. And other than that, yeah, it's nothing to shout about. The other film I watched in the week was Son of a Gun. This actually surprised me, to be fair.
I vaguely remember this, like 2-3 years ago, maybe.
Yeah, it's not. It's a decent film. I thought it was going to be absolute garbage, but yeah, it was all right. You got Ewan McGregor who's in prison, and you got the young lad. He's just come in, and McGregor's sort of looking out for him, stopping him, sort of getting bummed in prison and that type of thing.
What a gentleman!
And for him stopping him getting bummed, he's got to do a favour for Ewan to get out of prison and do some tasks for him. So, but yeah, it was a good watch. And then my last film, which I watched half of today, was Elf.
For you.
That was more watching my eldest daughter watching it for the first time. And seeing her reactions to it. So yeah, good film. She enjoyed it. Half of what she's watched so far. So yeah, just stupid fun.
Yeah, it's great for a kid to watch Christmas for the first time. Christmas movies for the first time.
Yeah. Especially when they get to that age where they're really enjoying watching films and really getting into it. Yeah.
She's only 5, and she's like at that stage where she's like, is that real or is that computer? And yeah, just getting to understand stuff.
So before we move on to what I've been watching, we have the other part of Dinosaur Man. So we have Dinosaur in the house.
He didn't abandon me like
in the house. We now have Man as well.
I don't know, I like that implication. That I'm the old fuddy-duddy fossil. I mean, it's true.
Okay, well, you could be Dino and he could be Sawman.
Sawman sounds like the worst superhero ever. Just a lot of chafing.
You can be the tail.
And here he is.
Here he is.
I am Man.
And he's even holding his microphone like a rock star. Look at him.
Yeah, it's because I've got.
We can all do that.
Balance my laptop, but I've got no real place to put the microphone, so I'm just going to hold it like
a cool kid. Yeah. And
this is where you get the best vocal coverage.
He's like, and now for Wonderwall, yeah.
Nicky,
just have it dangling. Say again.
You have such a way with words.
Like, the
way you just explain that film.
You want to watch it, don't you?
Beautiful.
Absolutely. So,
by the way, do you like my Christmas jumper?
Is that Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Of course.
Good.
Of course it is.
Only you would wear it, but that is great.
I actually got it as a Secret Santa. And I was I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
I am happy with that.
Whoever got you that is an absolute, nailed it first time.
But then someone got me one year a Steven Seagal book, and I was like, are you fucking joking me or what? I'm a Van Damme fan, not Seagal.
Okay, so hang on.
They're not mutually exclusive.
Yeah, I was just going to work out here. Are we saying that Seagal is no good?
Seagal is an imposter.
He's an imposter.
Yeah.
I mean, He's really Steven Seagal.
Yeah, he's a martial arts imposter.
Yeah.
Well, we know that. We know that he's not a black belt in anything other than
that's the main thing. He's made to look better than he is, whereas Van Damme's actually a bit.
And he still doesn't look that good.
No,
I would say.
Definitely not.
I've been using the same tricks to make myself look good all this time.
Okay, so I'll. In fact, now we've got a second guest. Well, we actually know what you've been watching this week.
Sorry, Andy, I spoiled the surprise.
We kind of know what you've been watching this week, unless you've been watching something different and cheating on Alex by yourself.
So many Christmas movies.
So watched an episode of The Mandalorian. That's it.
Oh, yeah,
well, yeah. I was gonna go into that. So I've watched this week's episode of The Mandalorian. I won't go into it because spoiler territory, obviously, and it's very It's Star Wars. It's big for a lot of people, and it's people are. And it's one of those good things at the minute is the fact that it's coming out week by week. Quite like it. There's a sense of normality around week by week releases, whereas we're not used to that. It's usually just everything's all out at once. So it's nice to watch it week by week, I think, because it kind of gets you excited for Fridays. It's like, oh, Friday it's Mandalorian Day, or Saturday it's whatever. But this week's a good episode. There was one moment in it that made me a little giddy. Just one moment. The rest of it was a pretty solid episode. But what else have I been watching? I've started watching this lovely show.
Look at you.
I stopped.
Me. Okay. Okay. The amount of weird, sexual, crazy, tormented fucked-upperiness in this TV show is insane. Like at times you kind of like, okay, yeah, I'm really following it, and then it just goes completely left field with the sexuality and the violence. Like, what the hell is going on? And it doesn't, like, I'm going to continue watching it because I find it actually oddly amusing, because it's just so haphazard. But it's mental. It's just mental. And if anyone has seen it, I'm pretty sure, like, Andy and Alex seem to be nodding. It looks like you have watched it. No, you've not. You've not watched it. Okay.
I've seen the trailer and I got everything I need to know about it.
Yeah. Okay.
I didn't think we needed a Nurse Ratched origin story,
mate. It's the weird thing is it doesn't feel like an origin story. It just feels like
maybe we do need
they've got a well-known nurse, a messed up nurse character. Yeah. And they've just thrown her into this situation, and that's all they're running with. It doesn't feel
fan
like
fiction.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like anything. It's very American Horror-esque. Obviously, they've got a very unique style to what they do, and they run with it very heavily. But this one is so sex heavy; it's unbelievable, and it's very. I feel like it's very pushy in terms of. Lesbianism, if that's a word. Like, I mean, they push it really, really hard. And I don't know if it's because, I don't know, at times if it's like, you know, Sarah Paulson's, and obviously she's a big figure in the gay community. And it feels like they're just kind of like knocking you over the head with it whilst they're showing people being knocked over the head whilst having lesbian sex. It's just, it's constant.
The one thing we all saw when we watched One Flew Over the Cuckoo Nest is when that Nurse Ratched wants to fuck. And finally we've got our answers.
She wants to bang, and
our prayers answered.
It's true. I mean, I don't want to get too serious here because I know this is just a lighthearted stream. But we've talked about this on the podcast before about Ryan Murphy and sort of the fact that he does a lot of promotion of LGBTQ roles and shows and actors, and I think he's great for that, and I think should be applauded.
Ableism, like
and ableism as well.
And I agree. I think it should be applauded. But what he's running into the realms of here is it's constantly ramming it down your throat rather than promoting it in the right way. It's literally just everything seems to be about it for no apparent reason other than.
Other than that, what would the show be about?
It could be about
if you take away.
So if you take out the lesbian esque part of it, it would be a show about. It could be quite a horror, a horror themed show about some. And to be fair, it is. It just throws in lesbianism at the same time, but they kind of use it as a kind of like a throwback to how they used to treat people that suffered from lesbianism, and how they used to kind of do some kind of like really barbaric medical treatment to them, which was it's mental and horrible to watch. But yeah, at times it feels just like a platform to discuss or to throw something at you that doesn't necessarily feel like it belongs in what you're showing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But other than that, it's very weird. It's very, very weird, very sex heavy, and very violent. So if that's your bag, give it a go. I can guarantee you after 2 episodes, you would have made your mind up whether or not you like it or not.
I'll be honest, I'm probably going to still give it a miss.
I turned it off.
It's definitely not for everyone, because it's very graphic in every sense of the word. It's very graphic. And some people quite like a bit of sex and a bit of violence, but this goes a little bit too much for a everyday, well, not an everyday TV show, but just for a TV show.
I'm sorry, but my Ryan Murphy quota is already filled by watching Prom later this week.
We're looking forward to it.
And then the movie side of it, what I've been watching, is that Star Wars has been getting a lot of buzz this week, and it's kind of given me a push to go back and watch the well-loved prequels of Star Wars. So I've been using my time to be watching these bad boys. And you know what? They're really not as bad as everyone makes out. They're really not.
Including the second one.
Attack of the Clones we know is garbage. Attack of the Clones is absolutely garbage. But Phantom Menace is nowhere near as bad as everyone makes out. There's a lot of problems with that movie, and if you don't have a political or knowledge of how things work politically, you'll probably lose yourself, which is not something you should really think about in a Star Wars movie. But other than that, it's not
what I was actually waiting for in Star Wars movies.
Where's the political part?
I was waiting for the trade embargoes to come in.
But yeah, I've been having fun watching that, and obviously there's been a lot of Star Wars news and stuff like that, and it's also made me think that I don't think Hayden Christensen is anywhere near as bad as I remember.
He wasn't great.
No, but the script wasn't great in any of them, really.
Was he good in Jumper?
No.
I liked
Jumper.
I like his portrayal of evil Anakin. Like it's a much more convincing character than any other part of Anakin is, and I like that. It's just a shame that you only get to see a very short amount of time before man gets hacked up by Obi-Wan. But yeah, it's fun going back to watch them, because I can think when I watched them when I was younger and I go to the cinema to watch them, I'd be like, I love Star Wars and everything looked like state of the art and amazing. But then you watch it, like those movies have not aged well. Like the technology and the special effects have not aged well at all. Like,
yeah, I can imagine.
Like the green screening in it is just so poor.
The whole thing was filmed on green screen, wasn't it? It was it was so fake.
Contrived lesbianism is what Star Wars needs. But yeah, so I've been having fun going back and watching that, and I'll probably spend this week watching the original trilogy, and then probably next week, let's say Christmas week, I'll probably spend some time over the next couple of weeks watching the last 6. I've only watched The Rise of Skywalker once, and I didn't mind it.
That's enough time.
I honestly I didn't mind it as much.
I'm leaving this stream.
Like, I know a lot of people had some shit about it, and one of the biggest issues I had with Rise of Skywalker is the fact that the Knights of Ren are like there, and they're like, "Oh, it's the Knights of Ren." Okay, they're gone. I was massively pissed off about that. But anyway, that's a different conversation for a different time. That's what we've been watching this week. Nick talks about Elf and Ant talks about violent lessons to the opposite. Yes, that's what we talk about.
Violent lesbians.
That's how our Sunday nights go.
I saw somebody said that you're watching Godzilla King of Monsters as well. And I will say about that film, as I say about it every time, is that film looks amazing, and I'm just gutted that it wasn't better.
I remember having it on, but never watching it. So it was in the background almost, and I never fully watched it.
There is one scene which is stunning, and it's basically just
Mothra.
a load of different shots of different kaiju all around the world, and you see them, and like all the monster design in those films are incredible.
Yeah, they are.
But the storyline of that film is so doggers. Like it's so bad.
But even hang on, is it God? Even like Godzilla, like the story, but like the original Godzilla, where it's just like just let them fight. It's like you do realize there's going to be thousands, tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of casualties, and you're just there like let them fight because you've got I don't know like monster porn going on in your
head. They're not going to be. He's not going to be able to beat Godzilla himself. Like the people can't beat Godzilla, and they can't beat the. I can't
so just let it. Just fuck it. Just let him destroy the world. Mate.
Godzilla's role is Predator, so he plays the Predator. In this, and he kills it, and then he goes back into the ocean. Like the original Godzilla, like
I like the movie. Don't get me wrong. I like the movie. I like the movie. I love it.
The Godzilla 2015 was it?
Huh? Yeah.
Godzilla 2015. It's great. I love it. Like the only problem is not much Godzilla, and then Kong Skull Island, amazing. Obviously, all paying insignificance to Godzilla 98, the true Godzilla.
the true Godzilla, Japan, not just Japan, have declared not a Godzilla movie.
But also, one of my favorite films of all time.
Anyway, should we move on to the next subject, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay, so next subject then, Nick. What do you want to go for? We've got quite a lot of subjects tonight. So
we have. Let's go for this one. This one will be a quickish one. Be interesting what people say in the comments as well. So, what is one fragrance you recommend to people? We know Alex's, so he doesn't.
Well, I think we might know Andy's as well.
I think it's not even a fragrance, is it? It's a deodorant.
You tried this Lynx Africa.
Mine was easy. I've said mine earlier on, and it's one that I would never stop recommending to people. It's this bad boy. Double black. Yeah, mate, it's amazing. And the fact that a lot of people haven't smelled it is a fucking travesty. So go out and smell it, motherfuckers.
Yeah, so in the comments, write in what is one fragrance that you would recommend, that you do recommend to people on a regular basis. Mine would be, because it's a very easy wear, is the Mancera Cedra Boys.
Easy. It's nice as well.
Easy. Really... Yeah, it's nice. Big compliment getter for me. And it's one that's unknown, so it's not one that, it's not like 1 million where everyone's wearing it. People can be like, how do I get a hold of this one? So it's a very decent one.
How do I get a hold of it?
Yeah. You make it sound like it has to be mined from like the heart of a star or something.
Oh yeah.
Yes, right. That's exactly how you get it, Andy. So Baz has gone and said pure malt. Well, okay, Andy and Alex, like, what would you associate a fragrance smelling like called
Horlicks?
Pure malt. Okay. Okay, so this is malt as in malt whiskey.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm less interested.
I want to
give me a Horlicks fragrance.
Yeah, make people come round me just fall asleep.
You have that power already.
Gloves are off tonight, I see.
Nige has ombre tobacco.
I'm going to guess that's tobacco.
Amber and tobacco. I think I've never even smelled it, to be fair.
I thought it was going to be Ombre 3000, but okay, that was a niche reference, and no one liked it. It's fine.
You shake that one like a Polaroid picture.
on a little testing strip. I know fragrances.
You spray it and shake it.
I've seen enough of your programs.
Dan has he would like to recommend candles rather than fragrances, and I think there's one in particular that Dan would like to recommend. It's that Gwyneth Paltrow's "This Smells Like My Vagina."
Now,
No, it's actually his mum's one that he
Oh
created.
no, your
himself.
mum's vagina. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah, your mum's vagina.
Can I take this opportunity to say that once at university, I don't know how, we stumbled down a rabbit hole. We found a fragrance that was Eau de Vagina. This is long before the Gwyneth Paltrow vagina candle. I can't remember. I mean, Andy, do you remember this happening or not? Were you not there this night? Okay.
It entranced him that much, he can't remember.
I've been wearing it ever since.
It was, reassuringly expensive, is what I would say. You don't want that stuff coming cheap. No, exactly. You want to make sure it's premium quality stuff. Okay, great stuff, Dan. I was about to have a real serious conversation about it, but I think that's a niche fragrance, isn't it?
Very niche.
Whereas I said, I've just seen it. Barry said about pure malt because it's so whiskey heavy that if you spray it, don't wear it to work because people might think you've been on the sauce the night before. It's that whiskey heavy.
So any alcoholics listening, they could, cover up.
As somebody who's completely uninitiated, why?
I don't think it's just whiskey. I don't think it's just whiskey. I think it's kind of like got boozy nuances, but they're quite strong.
Boozy nuances.
If you meet somebody and they stink of booze, you're like, that guy, is a bit of a shady character. Why do you want to smell like the person that people are trying to avoid?
But I think it's
so people avoid it.
Malt whiskey and hints of bergamot. I've watched your videos, don't worry.
Or as Dan would say, malt whiskey and hints of bergamot.
Bit of bergamot.
Bergamot. Oh fucking hell. Okay. Anyway, what else have we had?
Catty's got Portrait of a Lady.
Portrait of a Lady. That's a very, very expensive one.
Oh, here we go. A bit of malt loaf.
Thank you. You brush your teeth while she shits. Here's another returner from the 24-hour stream that kept me and Andy going at that point.
That was a good
malt loaf should be advertised by Meatloaf. I think we can all agree.
Oh, hell yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, they say sex sells, but Meatloaf sells in droves.
Hang on, are we talking about the food or the man, or is it Meatloaf eating meatloaf whilst endorsing malt loaf?
Well, he's eating malt loaf, surely.
It could be eating meatloaf as well.
Well, yeah, I suppose so.
In between malt loaf. Meatloaf in between malt loaf.
What's this? Curly Fragrance rubs fanny cream on her face. What the fuck? Oh dear. Was there a video on
this? As a person?
Nigel, do you can you elaborate on that one?
He's put here that she did a Q&A and must have rubbed some vagina cream on her face. Very nice.
Okay.
Each to their own.
Alex has just subscribed to the channel.
I don't understand where that even came from.
What?
Knobhead. Okay.
Could be leveled at any of us, to be fair.
Bergamo, mate. Bergamo. Okay, so
I mean, you would think that that's how the word is pronounced, just from the fact that you're dealing with fragrances and they're quite elegant. So I can understand it, Dan.
Here's a question then for everyone who's in the chat, because obviously you guys have all, like everybody here has tried at least one more fragrance than I have. What would you recommend to me as somebody who A, doesn't really go in on fancy fragrances, and B, I don't want to pay for the nose?
Let's bang out the question then.
I think Andy would be a bit of a Mont Blanc individual. Bit of
Oh,
sweetness.
yeah, I get that.
Cheap.
I get Mont Blanc Explorer vibes from him. I've watched your video. I've watched your video.
Very good.
Yeah. Well, you could go with anything from do you want an original or do you want a clone?
Well, the only one I wear at the moment is Hugo Boss. Boss by Hugo Boss.
Boss by Hugo Boss.
So
The classic.
I've also once had a bottle of Jupe. I don't know if I used it or not, but I
So,
owned it.
well, there you go. Nick's answered your question. Mont Blanc Individual, because they're the same thing.
I'm going to say ultraviolet.
Ooh, bit of Paco Rabanne.
Individual, mate. If you've gone for
Little
Duke,
squeezy spray.
Hold on, somebody's put a £20 fragrance there, and that sounds like it's right up my alley.
yes, that's Mont Blanc Individual. I think I got a 75ml bottle for like 23, 24 quid.
Yeah, and Bang is 20 quid for 10 mils. So if you're talking
the original bottle,
pound for pound, but oh man, if I could get my hand on one of those original bottles, oh man,
it'd be in a shrine somewhere.
I'd be making love to that bottle.
Is there one that
don't even
smells
look
like
at it.
gravy?
Who would want to smell like that, though?
I'd
mushy
rather smell like
pea.
salt and vinegar. Salt and vinegar smells incredible.
Oh God,
No
Mason.
one wants to smell like that though.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a topic. This is a
This
topic.
one is
Right,
this one?
Yes, that's the one.
Woo.
That's the one. Boss the Scent Private Accord. I think he's done Boss the Scent Private Accord.
I haven't.
This was a topic
Alex,
that
right
came up
downstairs.
in a. Oh, he's wasted a spray.
No, not a waste if it stays up at your nostrils. I'm getting hints of sandalwood and something on the front of my tongue. I can't quite place it. Water.
This was a topic that actually came up in a video that I watched. Is do you want to smell like certain things? And I think it was in one of Nigel's letters, and it was like there's like coffee fragrances, like really strong coffee fragrances. Do you want to smell like coffee? Like everyone likes the smell. Like there's a lot of people that like the smell of coffee, like a fresh coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
Do you want to smell like coffee? Like pure malt. People like the smell of whiskey. People like the smell of petrol. But do you want to smell like that?
So this question is now: what is the one smell you wish you could smell of 100% of the time?
Well, I got a candle the other day. I bought one the other day because I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna make my office space at least smell nice, just I'm there for fucking most of the day." So I got it, and basically it's like Lotus Biscoff and salted caramel and something else, right? And I keep smelling it. I'm like, "Oh, it smells amazing." Whenever I light it, it gives me a headache because it's too much.
Mm-hmm.
So I now just have this candle that I don't light, and every so often I just sniff.
Yeah.
Don't know what that says about me, guys, but that's a true story.
You could try this one, Andy.
Oh God.
Secretions Magnifique.
This is the one that's come. I think this is come.
Sweat and blood.
It's sweat, blood, semen. It's supposed to. A lot of
I
people
think you've actually got it.
I do. I've got it in a sample. I've got a sample of it actually.
Test it.
I'm okay.
Get it out.
Do more than test it and smother yourself in it.
I watched Dan test it, and he about threw up. A lot of people say it smells like wet dog.
Well, it depends if you've come on a dog, I guess. Sorry, I've done this conversation blue.
It's always blue.
Okay, cool. So, right, where are we?
Well, we've got some good suggestions here, at least.
Yeah, I'll go through the comments and ignore them all.
Andy, I think Nick was right about what he said. Mont Blanc Individual is probably something that would be right up your street. If you like the smell of dupe,
he doesn't know. He's never tried it. He's got a bottle.
Who knows?
The Harley Davidson fragrance that you once had.
The one from Tenerife.
Yes.
I think that fragrance shop still exists in Tenerife. Maybe I should go there and bathe in it again.
Do it. That's a good enough reason to go to Tenerife if I've ever heard one.
Here we go.
Andy could wear zoologist T-Rex in his dinosaur suit. Do you have a dinosaur suit?
I wish I did. I wish I did.
You need to get a Barney one.
You need to get one of those inflatable T-Rex outfits that you see, and they're just like
absolute quarantine suit.
Yeah.
Damn right.
Right, cool. So we've had a couple of good suggestions. It was a good question, Andy. Well done. Thank you.
Just all individuals just smells like dry as sheets.
No, a lot of people say it smells like fresh linen.
Okay.
Who doesn't want to smell like fresh linen?
Somebody else used to wear the Harley Davidson. Is that Nige?
Yeah.
Was it the blue one? Because there were different colours, and when I was a kid, I think I've told the story in the chat before, but I'll tell it again. When I was a kid, we went to the perfume store in Tenerife, and I was able to pick out whatever I wanted, and I got the blue one, and it was unscrewable, and it's one of those like you can just dab against your skin. But I didn't realize that because it was the first time I'd ever had like an
poured it on you.
Poured it on. I just like pour it on my skin and just like kind of almost like I was bathing in it. And like I got through a bottle of the stuff in like I was in Tenerife for like a week, and I got through it in like half the week. And like I went back and got.
God.
So I was like, this is apparently I'm an adult now. I can't imagine how I smelt as a kid, like how strong that must have been. But nobody taught me. Like my dad didn't tell me that's not how it works. But I don't know whether he saw me like just like holy watering myself.
He probably thought you were just sweating.
Usually sweating this Harley Davidson scent. Nige, does it smell nice? Because that's one thing I can't remember.
Oh God. Oh gosh, that really made me laugh. I can just imagine you like
just straight down.
Oh gosh. Nige said he's had them all. Green, red, black, and blue. So there was a blue one.
Yeah, the blue one was definitely the one I had. Like the bottle is printed in my brain. I know exactly what it looks like. It looks like a hip flask.
Barry, I've got them all. I got all the ones that you sent to Nick for Dan to try. Nick gave them to me because why not? Because he's a really good friend. And
I thought he could try them live.
I can't remember which one was which though. It doesn't say because they're all just numbered, aren't they? So
drop in the comment if you like Ant to have a little spray.
Hang on, I've just got a comment.
Anyway, let's move on to the next topic. So the next one was, what fragrance did you not like at first but have grown to like it? This one's very easy for me because when I first smelt it, I thought it was disgusting. And since then, it was something that, Nick, you have made me appreciate it a little bit more. And it's because the opening I find is so unbelievably like harsh and almost dirty. But the dry down's really nice, and that's Tuscan leather.
Oh yeah,
Tuscan leather opening, man, is rough. It's rough. Woof. It's woof. It's really woof. Like it's like okay, Andy and Alex. I'm trying to put it into context for you. It smells like really used, worn, old, dirty, dusty leather.
Great.
That's what it smells like to me.
With a bit of raspberry.
When you let it dry down, it does smell like raspberry. It's got that raspberry in it.
So it opens with like an old wallet smell.
No, well, imagine.
I actually do really like the smell of an old wallet.
So imagine going into a leather
some leg
shop.
sweat on there.
Imagine going into a leather shop, but every single item has been used for 15 years.
Who buy? That's my big question.
Andy.
With a bit of Harley D on.
Oh yeah. What if it had like that I'd been wearing the Harley Davidson and it kind of seeped into the leather?
There you go.
Okay. Yeah, I'd spray that.
But yeah,
that stops when it gets to the raspberry.
The dry down is really nice. It's really nice. But yeah, I hated it.
Mm.
That's mine.
And there seems to be quite a few comments saying yes, yes, and go spray now. Do it some more.
Okay, Barry, if you can find your original list to show which one is which, then I'll do it.
Barry will find that list.
Give me a sec.
Good on you, Barry.
Yes.
Nick, while Ant is away, can I ask you a question? Are you a fan of the film True Lies?
I am.
Yeah. So I showed Andy the clip last
Do
night.
it slowly. Do it
Do it
sexy.
some more.
I showed Andy the clip of Bill Paxton doing the beg for buttermilk thing.
Oh yeah.
It's one of the greatest lines of all time, right?
It is.
It's
The
a
whole
really
film
funny
is
line.
quality. The whole film is quality.
But Andy was astonished by the delivery, and I was kind of it's in keeping with the tone of the film, really.
Andy, have you never watched it?
I don't know. Probably not. I don't think so. It's probably one of those that I might
Great.
watch at some point.
So James Cameron classic.
Here he is, he's back. What's he
There
got?
Oh,
So he's going to do
In
one
that-
spray.
In all at once.
in that bag is absolute filth.
You got to
Yes.
slam it against the table to break them all open, and then take a sniff.
Fucking hell.
I like how we've now just ruined his night.
I'll be fucked if I'm putting this on skin. All right, it's not happening.
I tell you what, put it on your Christmas tree. Give it a
off.
nice little spray on one of them balls.
Barry, have you got the list? Has anyone got the list?
I think I might do.
It'll be on Insta, won't it? Do we message you on Insta?
Yeah.
Oh,
It smells like Dan Chase. If you get too close, you can smell his raspberry.
oh god, this is going to be
Right.
fucking dreadful.
Let me find where it is. This is going to be beautiful.
Right, you carry on talking whilst I make some makeshift strips.
Okay, so one of my fragrances that I didn't like, but I do now because I don't know, my taste has maybe changed. It was Creed Green Irish Tweed.
Yeah.
I didn't actually like it, but now I've become quite fond of it. It's
Smells
really
like
nice.
grass. Just smells like
Yeah.
grass.
It's a grassy, earthy smell. Andy, you'd probably hate it. Alex, I think you'd get a 5 ml sample.
Well,
A 5 ml sample would probably cost you about £25.
So it must be equally as good as Bang then. Interesting. What I would say is I like fragrances. I think I like fragrances that don't have much sweetness to them.
Okay.
Mhm.
And that isn't to say I like ones that have got sourness to them before anyone starts sending me Tang Fastics in the post. Okay, that was a bad joke, everyone. Don't worry. Don't worry. I knew it.
No, but there are a lot of fragrances out there that are very, very sweet,
like-
like gourmandy.
I like woody. I like musky.
Love a good musk.
Well, Nick could just laugh at the fact I said I like woody, which, you know, best
Well,
character in
Toy
Toy Story.
Story. Yeah, that's all.
We're
I
on the same
thought of.
page.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, leather, wood,
Here we go.
earth, grit, salt, all the good stuff.
You might like
Right.
this secretions magnifique then. Semen, blood.
Not certain types of salty substances.
Number 11 or number 12?
I'm going to
one's
choose
it?
11.
11's the first one that comes into my hand. Oh, this is secretions. I know it is.
You can see the semen.
I can read it. Mhm.
No.
Yeah, like- Something floating in it.
It's actually Barry's jizz. Go on, Ant. Treat yourself.
Just straight at the nostril.
Look, he likes it, look. That'll wake you up.
Right.
He's turning around to drink it. Wait. Don't do that.
Sombra's the other one, Brian. Is it as bad as you you think it is? It keeps
thing
going
is,
back
Smells
for
like
more.
wet dog. It fucking smells like wet. That's
Well, that's a better smell than actual cum. So
Spray the other one. Spray the Sombra.
that's
the
fucking.
way I imagine it is like, do you remember that fart spray you used to get like, when you were a kid?
Or stink
no,
bombs.
but we come from different circles, Andy.
This is why I haven't moved past Lynx.
Was this a big
I was
thing?
using fart spray for so
Fart
long.
spray. That was the one that you didn't like at first, and then you learned to love.
It grows on you.
And as you spray number 12, I'll read the notes out. So number
It's
12.
such a small room as well, so this room is filling up with this smell. Yeah, Brian, it is. It's like a sweaty, milky, and it's making me feel really quite sick.
Sombra is got champagne, jasmine, mold, mud,
Oh.
nocturnal animals accord. What the fuck? Oris, pus, rose, sweat, and vomit.
Then I'm not fucking spraying it.
Go on and have a little cheeky one.
Oh, this is fucking disgusting.
I feel genuinely sorry for him. I didn't even comment, so it's not on me, guys.
He's getting it out, look. He's getting it out, look.
I feel like this is peer pressure now.
It is.
Yeah, this is like a different kind of trolling.
Nope. Nope.
Did you have a good sniff?
He had enough of a sniff for me. If that was a reaction, I'm going to say he had a good sniff.
I'm not doing that.
I think you should.
What makes that?
Why don't you treat Andy and Alex?
Yeah, why don't you give us that as a Christmas present?
Yeah.
Secret Santa.
Can put it next to his
My
bang,
worst fucking enemy.
next to Africa.
Well, you know, I
Be
don't want
beautiful.
to.
I mean, what Andy really needs is non-vaporized Africa. That's what he needs, like a 100 ml bottle of pure Africa scent that he can just.
Pour onto my
No,
skin.
he
Yeah,
he needs a pourer.
yeah. Can you get a jug of?
Can you get it in your taps?
Oh, I need.
Brian wore both.
Some double black on you. Get that on you. That'll see you right.
Oh.
It might put you off double black for life now, though, if it's still got a bit of the hint of vomit.
What you mean, like when you drink something as a kid and then you get absolutely smashed on it, and then you just
You
can't.
can't drink tequila for the rest of your life. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
But
Exactly like that.
So I don't drink water anymore.
Right. So before we go into some movie stuff, should we do the game?
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
I
we've
think
got a movie game. We have got a
Ant's at a
movie game.
disadvantage, so this is good.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to put a picture up, and it's going to. You'll have about, I think, 10 or 12 movies, and I've got 3 of them. So all you have to do is guess the movie. Here we go.
I need to go wash my hands.
So let me go to the comments.
Okay, I'm having real trouble working out how these are supposed to work. Because
Oh, well, the first-
I've just got the B movie.
Correct, Andy.
Oh, okay.
Number 2 is the B movie.
Okay, and number 1 is. Oh wait, we'll let the comments do some first.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see if you guys get in the comments. So number 2 is B movie. So Spartacus. Let me see. No, we don't have Spartacus.
Oh, I see what that one is.
Hmm.
I think I got number 11 and 8.
Oh, that's better. Okay, where are we?
Yes, Blade Runner is number 4.
Number
Yeah.
7's definitely got to be Terminator Judgment Day.
Nope.
I beg your pardon.
You're looking at number 11 and saying number 10.
Yeah, 11. Hang on, let me get rid of the banner.
Yeah, it's not Judgment Day.
What?
Magnolia. No.
Is
That's what I
number
thought.
7, is number 7 sleeping with the? Is it sleeping with? No.
Barry, you're close, but it's not Magnolia. Brian, no, it's not Ben-Hur.
Chariots of Fire.
Yes, number 1.
So it's number 8, Steel Magnolia.
Yes,
Is
Steel
number-
Magnolia.
Number 5, Wonder Woman.
Nope.
There's Wonder. There's 2 Wonders. Stevie Wonder's at the back. You got Wonder Woman in the middle. No idea who that person is at the front. Is number 9 We Are the Titans?
Nope.
That's Noah's Ark, isn't it?
So you got Noah's Ark, you got football players. What looks like what the fuck?
Is it Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Yes.
Ah,
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Is number 7 Fantastic Mr. Fox?
No, it's
Only
not.
because it's a male fox, I'm guessing. Oh, wait, it's a wolf. It's clearly a wolf, you idiot.
No, we've not got. There's no Teen Wolf, no Werewolf in London,
Is it
Ghost
like-
Rider. Nope.
is there a movie called like Sleeping with Wolves or something like that?
Dances with
Dance with Wolves.
Yes, Dances with
A
Wolves.
film my parents wouldn't let me see.
Oh, I didn't realise they were dancing.
It was that film.
Okay.
How is number 11 not Judgment Day?
It's not. You're close, but it's not.
Robot Judge. Number 11 is famous film Robot Judge.
Is it Terminator? Salvation?
It is. I'll give you it.
Is that a
It's
Chilean
down at
flag?
Terminator 3.
Terminator 3? Rise of the Machine?
Yeah.
How the oh, is that
As in, like, all rise for the right honourable
potentially, yeah.
Mr. Terminator.
I think that's exactly what it is.
RoboCop, no Judge Dredd.
Next the Green Mile.
Green
Number
Mile, yes, number 12.
Art, brain, art, think, art.
Oh, did we do 3 yet or not?
Number 3, nope.
Star Wars.
Yes, Star Wars, number 3.
It's number 2, the B movie.
Yeah, we've had
Yeah.
that one.
Unfortunately, Andy got that one instantly.
Green Mile, we've had.
Number 10. Numbers.
We've had number 10.
Oh, what is it?
Green Mile.
No, that's number 12.
Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, we've not had that one.
This is Zodiac.
No. We need 5, 6,
Matrix.
and 10. It is the Matrix.
DH1.
Nice.
4, Walk the Line. No, number 4 is Blade Runner.
So we need
Yeah,
5 and 6 on this one.
5 and 6.
Not
It's a
all the
Wonderful
lines.
Life.
It's what?
It's a Wonderful Life.
No.
Ah.
But you're
It's
going
definitely-
on along. You're going on the right lines.
It's definitely something Wonder because you got Stevie Wonder
Yeah.
and Wonder Woman there.
Ryan's got it, I think.
No, I think he's saying no, of course, to me saying Blade Runner.
Oh right, okay.
Is it? No. Fuck knows. Number 6, Art Attack. Neil Buchanan and Art Attack.
Definitely not Neil Buchanan.
Is it the
Neil Bu-
head?
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Neil Buchanan is a rocker.
So it's more focused inside the head.
Yeah, it's art. So you've got Mona
Beautiful
Lisa.
Mind.
Beautiful Mind.
What'd you say? Yes. So now you need number 5.
What's
then
with
we've
the
got another
shrooms?
sheet.
The Wonder Woman. Mushroom Wonder. Wonder Shroom. Wonder Mushrooms. Wonder Wall.
You're going on along the right lines with Wonder.
Okay, so there's Oasis, Champagne Supernova.
Wonder Vision. Wonder Vision. Wow wiki wawa. Wonderful motherfuckers.
I have no idea, I'll be honest.
No, me
Okay.
neither.
So I'll give you this one, and then we'll go to the next one. So that one was Alice in Wonderland.
I'm guessing the woman up front is called Alice.
Yeah, that would help.
It is Alice Cooper, isn't it?
Obviously.
Right, here's the next one.
The Sixth
See what-
Sense is number 2.
Yeah.
Reservoir Dogs is 3.
Correcto mundo.
I know what number 11 is.
Hancock is number 6.
Hancock, yeah.
Number 11's Jarhead.
Yeah. Number 5 is $1 Million Baby.
Would you say Aunt Jarhead?
Yeah.
$1 Million, yeah.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, number 1.
Very good. That is a good one. Yeah, it is Crouching
banging.
Tiger.
That's banging. Number 10 is Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Because an OXO cube is stock.
Good job. Well done. I like that.
I think that's the reaction that Nicky was looking for from this game. Just, yeah, well done. Good work.
Number 12 is the famous, well-known warthog rat.
No.
1.6 kilometers.
Green Mile, yeah, Brian.
That's the Green Mile again, yeah.
Yep.
Number 8 is the Hills Have Eyes.
Hills of Eyes.
I'm stuck on number 4 and I'm going for Soup Head.
Superman.
Oh,
Brian, yes,
that's good,
Scarface.
well done.
Soup Hair Man.
Yeah.
Superman, yes.
Super
You
Hair
got,
Man.
you got the last one. Number
Scarface.
12. No, number 12.
What's Scarface?
Scarface.
Number 9.
Oh, Scarface. Yes.
What was number 3?
Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs.
Number 12. What?
What is that in the bottom right?
It's a
I
rat.
can't-
Or is it a mouse?
Pig
Wild
Not
Hogs.
Wild Hogs. No.
Hog. Mouse. Hogwarts.
It's
No.
no.
Harry Potter.
Don't go along the lines of Hog.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
different name.
Pig.
No.
Oh. Pumba.
Boar. Borat.
Yes.
Borat.
Of course it is. It should have just had the
Borat.
word my wife.
You're rat.
Right, we've got one more.
Oh, we got
There
one
we
more.
go.
Oh god,
Yeah.
we're in for a treat, aren't we? The Deer Hunter, number 1. The Horse Whisperer is number 4.
Number 8, African Queen.
Number 6 looks like Jesus is about to take that child away.
African
You know, that's what
Queen, yeah.
Jesus is.
So the true message of the Bible.
No
No,
porkies.
he-
I don't know why I say that's Jesus, though, to be fair.
Yeah, no porkies, Barry.
Nick, number 5 is the Green Mile.
It is.
Number 11 is Ghost Ship, known for having one of the best.
Brian got Signs.
Signs,
Yeah.
number 2.
Ghost Ship. Yeah.
Charlie in the Chocolate Factory is number 9.
The Horse Whisperer.
number 3.
10, Swordfish.
Number 3 is When Harry Met
Swordfish,
Sally.
yes. Harry Met Sally, yes.
Number 12 is fucking hard.
Just looks like Lost.
Yeah, it does. Number 7 is 4 Weddings and a Funeral.
Yeah, we've had the African Queen. We've had the Horse Whisperer.
Number 6 we haven't had.
Yeah, we've not had number 6
Or 12.
or 12. 6 and 12 is what we need.
Is that an angel baby? Angel baby. Angel baby. Angel father. Father angel. Father Gabriel. Gabriel. Fucking hell. Looks like Jesus Santa. Santa Jesus. Santa angel. Angel is Santa? Is it Santa?
Don't know.
Looks like Santa. Looks like Uncle Albert.
Wedding Crashers is number 12.
Yes.
Yeah. Good one. Notice it's a wedding, yeah.
So then
Sick
you just
Bad
need.
Santa.
No.
Well, he's an angel because he's got a halo.
Yeah.
Is it Santa, though?
That's what you got to decide, isn't it?
It looks like Santa.
Does Santa have a halo?
Is he the greatest of all of the angels?
Santa-y halo, man.
Angel baby snatcher? I don't know.
Hang
I
on.
assume that's not his child.
If he's snatching the baby, then he would be a bad Santa.
He would be a bad Santa, but it's not bad Santa.
No, because he's got an angel halo, so he must be
What
good.
is the
Good
blue in
Santa.
the back? What is the blue in the background? It looks a bit metal.
Heavy metal angel baby?
Heavy metal Santa, the
Your
baby
favourite film?
snatcher. Son of God.
Brian, you're close.
Father of God.
Jesus. Passion of the Christ.
Andy, you were very close.
Father of the Bride.
No.
Father Ted.
No. You're going to kick yourself when you find out what it is.
Father Christmas. Children of Men.
No.
Father McDougal. Father. What did Andy say? Father of Men. No, Father of God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Father of Jesus.
Our Father who art in heaven.
Father and Father
No,
and
not
Son.
Father and Son. No.
Cat Stevens.
What the fuck is this? Father.
Are there other ones we haven't got yet?
No, this is it.
That's the last one. And I'm surprised it's taken this long to pick it up, to be honest.
It's easy when you know the fucking answer, Nick. It's easy when you know the answer. Father, blue metal in the background, screaming child in hands.
Santa baby.
No.
Does it start with father? The
Godfather. Yeah. Oh
Wow.
my God.
Godfather.
Awful.
Wow.
I feel defeated.
I was going to do a
Really?
funny thing where when we brought the image back down, I was dead because it took so long to get it. But I was too invested.
Andy was like, Father of God. Just the wrong way around, Andy. You're close.
No, but
You don't
Father
want
of God is his favorite film.
Keep
Right.
mining that one.
Shall we go on to this bad boy?
So yeah, HBO Max, Warner Brothers will release every movie that they release in 2021 on HBO Max at the same time. I suppose this is the main thing, as at the same time as them releasing it to theaters worldwide.
So this is all the movies that they're going to be releasing.
Which is, they're big movies. There are some big movies there, especially at Mortal Kombat. There are some big movies there, but you've also you've got what's Majig? Oh no, because it's been pushed back to 2022 now, isn't it? The Batman.
Yeah. What do you think's the
I
biggest
thought
movie
the
there?
Suicide Squad had also been pushed back, but maybe not.
No.
The biggest movie on there.
Yeah, I think Matrix 4.
Matrix has got to be one of the biggest movies on there.
In the Heights. It's the one I'm looking forward to the most.
Dune has got a big following as well, and that looks like it could be quite visually impressive. But
So
also
what's
Space
your-
Jam.
So what's your thoughts then? Is it a good move from Warner Bros. Or not?
I have some thoughts on it. I can't remember who it was. I watched something on YouTube about it where they were basically saying that it's a good and it's a bad thing at the same time. Good thing in the sense of hardcore cinema goers, if cinemas are still around or still working, are still going to go. And I think that one of the things that ruins cinema experiences for most people, most of all hardcore cinema goers, are the average dickhead that goes there, right? Because they want to act like they're at home when they're at the cinema. So they want to put the feet up, they want to maybe go on the phone, all that kind of stuff that really annoys you from enjoying your cinema experience. The good news about that is that you're not going to get that anymore, one would assume, because they have the benefit of acting like they're at home and not having to go out to the cinema to do it. And it also, because Warner Brothers are now going out to HBO Max and obviously getting a big contract with HBO Max and getting large sums of money from them for using their streaming services, one can assume that the premiums for the cinema tickets that usually go to the studio will then be reinvested into your cinema, so the cinema can hopefully stay around for a lot longer. Because whilst the ticket prices might not drop because that premium goes or reduces, they can still use that money to then keep the cinema going, which is good for cinema goers, especially those that are always going to go to the cinema. But then you've got the bad side of potentially there's going to be a lot less people going to the cinema, which then has a negative effect on cinemas. Just in general, just the whether or not cinemas are going to even survive going forward, if that is going to be the running theme for everything. But I think it's an interesting concept to give you the option of having both. I just don't know how wide the uptake is going to be for HBO Max, considering as well that we're not, UK and Europe aren't getting HBO Max till like midway through next year anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
even
think
then,
they're looking at putting it on that. Is it Roku?
and even then, you've got another subscription service that you have to pay for, which people are going to be loath to do when they've got Amazon, when they've got Netflix, when they've got Disney, when they've got everything. It's like, okay, here's another subscription service. It's going to be like what, £10 a month or something like that. So yeah, there's a lot of different opinions and thoughts about it, but I'm not too bothered by it as long as cinemas still get the patrons that they get, which is my main concern, because I'll still go to the cinema. Like, won't stop going to the cinema. But I do think that it's going to put a lot of people off of going to the cinema if they can go, well, if I just get my subscription to HBO Max, then I don't need to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't done all of the research into this yet. We're going to speak about this next week on the podcast. But are they doing it the same way that they're doing the Wonder Woman release, where it's going to be day and date in theaters and on HBO Max, and then after 30 days it goes to exclusively into theaters again, and then after 30 days of that, or 60 days, I can't remember, it then goes to premium VOD on other platforms? In which case, I don't feel like I have a huge issue with it, because this was always going to be the future of film releasing. It's just that this whole situation has sped everything up, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Someone had to be the first to do it on a wide scale. You know, we saw like Disney did it with Mulan, and they just went, well, you're not getting it in cinemas anymore. You're just getting it at home. But with this, it's a case of they're trying to give the best possible. I think it's going to have to be the best possible options, which is, if it is safe for you to do so and you want to see it on the big screen and there is a screen open near you in the States, then you will go and do that, surely, if you're someone who values that experience. But it gives the opportunity to a lot of people who don't go to the cinema. And there's, you know, more people don't go to the cinema than do go to the cinema.
Amen.
And I think this gives them a potential option to then watch those in the comfort of their own homes. There's a whole ton of reasons why they might not go to the cinemas even before COVID hit.
Mm-hmm.
And now with that, it kind of feels like you're giving them the option of saying, right, okay, if you so wish, you can pay $12.99 a month or whatever it is, and you can get access to these movies when they come out. And you can sit your family of 4 or 5 down or whatever and watch this movie and not have to spend $100 on going to the cinema.
Yeah.
It's a budget-friendly option for those kind of families, which I think is a good move. And
I think they are going to eventually have a sort of big bidding war between the streaming services, where the movie will automatically make 400, 500 million, and then it will be like Netflix or Amazon, whoever will say, right, I'll pay 500 for it to come on here exclusively. Yeah, and the film's already made it before it's even gone into the cinema. It's made 500 million.
Well, we've seen that. We've seen that this year with some smaller scale stuff, like the Trial of the Chicago 7, which came out a couple of months ago. That was a Paramount movie that Paramount sold after the pandemic hit to Netflix, and they sold it for 70 million or something, I think it was. And that was on the basis that, well, we're not going to get to release it anytime soon. And if they want it out in time for Oscar season, then they're going to have to wait a whole nother year for that. And do they have the scheduling to be able to fit that in elsewhere in a marketplace that's going to be more flooded? Is it better to cut your losses? And Paramount have done this before, and they've done it again afterwards. So Coming to America, they've sold to Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
For 120 million, I think it is. So it kind of feels like this is the next step for maybe the studios that were struggling to find, because we've talked about Paramount basically only having a couple of franchises they can rely on, chief among which is Mission Impossible. But if you look past that, Paramount don't have a huge amount of stock in the bank, really. And they've got like Top Gun 2 Maverick. That is their one that they're holding on to because they think they can make more money in the cinema than they can if they sell it on to Netflix or Amazon. But you're right, Nick. I think it's going to be a case of even, I don't know if it'll ever do well. Certainly, I don't know if it will ever happen with the bigger studios doing it with, if they've got their own. So Warner's aren't part of HBO, but they kind of are. It's separate companies within the same umbrella. So there's always money exchanged. Whereas Disney, it's slightly easier because they can just say, "Oh, we're chucking this onto Plus," and that's that.
Yeah.
And I think with their tentpole movies, it's way easier to just dump them there and say, well, it's fine. We'll make some money back through merchandising. So, Disney are the kings of merchandising. They'll make more in the toys than they will in the movie theater tickets.
Yeah.
Whereas I think, maybe with things like, independent films may well have that option of being sold to, but also independent cinemas are still going to exist, because I think the people who go to the independent cinemas are still going to want to go there because they like that cinema. I love
Yeah.
Broadway. I think it's a great cinema. And I've seen so much stuff there that I'm thinking, well, I wouldn't have had the option to see that at Cineworld. So it's not going to really change for me because they're still going to show the same sort of stuff. They're not going to show the Spider-Man movies.
Yeah.
You know, they're not going to show all of the big blockbusters. They'll still show the stuff that I want to go and see there. And I think I think the ones that might have bigger issues with this is the bigger chain, not supermarket, cinemas, because they're the ones who've got the higher overheads. They've got more costs to clear. And it just kind of feels like those are the ones that are going to struggle here.
Well, it'll definitely reduce footfall, won't it? Like there's going to be less people in the cinemas no matter what.
Yeah.
Like if you're doing this, then you're going to have less people going to the cinemas.
But I think that with that being said, that's why I'm hoping that the premiums that cinemas usually pour over to the studios, that they're going to be able to invest into the cinema to be able to keep it going, because that footfall will reduce. I don't know if that's going to be the case or whether or not the studio is still going to demand some sort of premium from the ticket sales.
Yes, they will. Of course they will.
I can't imagine they're going to be demanding the same level if they're selling it on.
They've struck agreements before when this has happened. So with which was the one? I think it was the AMC, the chain over in the States. They struck a deal where they were paying less out to with Warner Brothers. It was they were paying less out to them, and they were getting more of a cut themselves than they would have normally.
Yeah,
but it's going to have to be on a film-by-film basis.
I think that studios are going to be more open to do that if they have just raked it in from streaming services. Like like Warner Brothers have struck up a year deal with HBO Max, like a full year deal with a massive slate of movies. They're going to be making a shit ton of money off of the back of that, presumably more than enough to be able to lower the premiums to allow them to keep operating.
When they believe they can also get the money from the cinema chains as well as the streaming services.
But then they'll be doing themselves a disservice by doing that, because then cinemas are going to eventually end up going under.
But then they'll basically go, well, we've got the platforms to rely on. Like the reason this whole thing is called into question is because obviously the issues you've got is what Nick was talking about with them selling these movies on. Warner Brothers has just done this without any communication at all. So they've gone, and so Lionsgate were willing to sell Godzilla vs. Kong. They got an offer of $220 million from Netflix saying, we'll buy this. And they went, you can't sell that because we've got like 25% stake in it. And then they've just sold it to HBO Max. Like basically just exchanging money, like Huda said, between the same company, really. They're the same entity. All they've done is they've made enough of a deal to say, okay, we've moved that onto HBO Max. What Warner Brothers are doing is, so HBO Max isn't doing well. Like it's got like 8.4 million subscribers or something, compared to Disney, who have on Disney Plus, they've got like 82 million subscribers in realistically the same kind of period of time. So what they've got to do is find a way to get more people onto that platform. And while Disney have these kind of franchise and stuff that they can serialize, bring people in that way, HBO have got to do something different.
Yeah.
So you put all these movies on, but if you don't communicate this with the people that you are actively affecting, it's going to cause a big uproar. It's going to cause an outcry of these, especially like people like Denis Villeneuve, going like, oh, Dune has its best opportunity to perform well if it is on the big screen, because it is this big kind of overreaching sci-fi movie that will only really have its full effect if it's on the big screen. And he's then going, but you didn't give me the chance to say that only goes to the big screen and give it a chance to have its run. Yeah. That's the problem. It's not, like, I completely agree with you, Alex. Like, it's not an issue that this is happening because this is the future anyway.
Yeah.
But the way in which it has been done is the issue. Yeah. Because if you're not communicating that with your main stakeholders, like if you've got people like Christopher Nolan kind of taking pot shots at Warner Brothers, and he is your top dog, like, Nolan is always going to go through Warner Brothers. And if he's taking pot shots at you now as your golden goose, like, you've got to question whether you've done this in the right way. Like, they had to pay huge money to the Wonder Woman crew to go, okay, we're going to do this to Wonder Woman. They haven't done this to the rest because they've just gone, oh, this is a 1 year thing. This isn't a 1 year thing. It will prove fruitful through 2021, doing it this way, and it will continue onwards. They'll go, oh, the figures and the numbers look good enough. and it
Yeah.
will continue to go. Because at the end of the day, it's not about consumer satisfaction. It is about how much money can line the pockets and how the books look at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And that's all it will ever be.
And it's also a kick drive, like you said, to uplift HBO Max.
100%.
Because it's not in a great place. This was just a convenient time to do it. It just landed straight because they were too reliant on Snyder Cut, because that was the initial push for HBO Max.
You'll see a massive surge of HBO Max subscriptions when you get closer to release of Snyder Cut anyway. The subscription alone just for that will start to increase, and the fact that you've only got HBO Max over in America at the minute. I believe I think it's only got a US release at the minute. It's nowhere else in the world. So you've got basically still a worldwide release of a streaming platform for everyone to get involved in, and that is a lot of people.
The concern is, so one thing that I know people are pointing out, like filmmakers especially have pointed out, is you are giving an audience a day one, fresh, perfect copy of your movie to be downloaded from somewhere.
Yeah.
Like at the moment, piracy, to be able to pirate something, you have to go into the cinema, get a decent setup, and get a copy until you can kind of steal the copy from somewhere else. And like that takes time, which means that if you wanted to go see, say, Dune, first day, and you want to load it up on your laptop or whatever, you're going to get a really shitty copy and you're not going to have a good experience. Now, what you're doing is the people who are out there to do that and out there willing to take the stuff for free are going to be able to get in a pristine copy day one.
Yeah.
They are
Wonder Woman, Boxing Day, you'll get a 4K copy.
Mm-hmm. And that's another big concern for these movies because, it's giving, and, that piracy is always going to happen and they will continue to crack down on it. But you're giving people the tools to be able to create it day one. So I completely agree there are two sides to this, which is there is the side that is going, Warner Brothers have to make money. They have to, otherwise they can't make films. And, and this is the future of the industry. But there is a way of going, but is this the right way? But like you said, Alex, like somebody was always going to take that leap.
Yeah, I mean, like it had to happen because it's the way that, like, look at the world. When we were growing up, we're all of a similar age, but when we were growing up, it was like, phones and the internet were not the thing they are now, where that's where you consume all of your content.
Yeah.
It was, you would watch things on TV. And like you were saying at the beginning, Ant, when you were talking about Mandalorian, isn't it nice to have something episodic and weekly, but appointment TV? That hasn't existed for the best part of 10 years almost now, because of the advent of watching everything, binge watching it on Netflix or watching it on your phone in a clip on YouTube, things like that. And I'm not trying to say like, oh, isn't technology bad? Because it's a wonderful thing and it's changing the way that these things work. But you've got to be adaptable and you've got to move with the times. And you're going to see that the studios that can afford to have streaming services or to afford to make links with streaming services exclusively, or, whether they set up an arrangement that then expands out to other ones after a certain period of time, they're all going to have to do it. Otherwise, they will get eaten by Disney.
Yeah.
Because let's not forget that they're the empire here.
They're the market leader, aren't they? Yeah.
So if there is a case,
Bob Iger sat there with his robe on,
you can go and buy Fox and all of their stuff because they put themselves up for sale. But Paramount's basically been up for sale for a while now, in terms of the fact that they don't make money on a lot of their movies because they don't have any franchisable things other than Mission Impossible, really.
Yeah.
I think Quiet Place was a Paramount movie, and that was like a big success for them. But name me the last time a Quiet Place type movie made any real amount of money for Paramount. Like, so you're going to have to adapt, because otherwise you will get eaten up. And it may well be that by the end of, in 3 years' time, you've got Disney and Warner Brothers and Sony have even drifted by the wayside. It's not beyond the realms of possibility that the film studios that haven't got those cash cows just have to, because they have to say, yeah, buy us, because we've got nothing.
And just on the back of that, in terms of lower films, so say like Scott Adkins, his films go straight to DVD, and now with the lack of going to places like HMV where you would find that type of movie on the shelf, Netflix are now buying them martial art films and putting them on the streaming services. So them lower budget films are still making money through these streaming services rather than relying on people going to a shop and, oh, there it is on the shelf.
It's because all of them are trying to bulk out their services because they want to be seen as, we have the most content, we have the best things.
Yeah, it'll be a case like in 5-10 years, the only way to, it sounds quite extreme, but it's not hard to believe that the only way to watch a movie will be through a streaming platform. It will be a case of that in the future. It will literally be, it'll be Netflix, Amazon, Disney, or HBO.
Mm-hmm.
It's not hard to believe. Like, it sounds like a really drastic thing, but it's not hard to believe the way that things are moving and the way that
that's cost. Companies won't want to pay for hard copies because it's a cost, rather than let me put it out streaming and I don't have to pay for a hard copy.
I mean, digital media is the way forward, and clearly it's going to be the way that it all gravitates towards. And you'll probably get those sort of collector's editions, DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, whatever. But other than that, the people who want the 4K UHD copy of whatever, they're going to pay that money for that thing regardless. Mm-hmm. But if you can present them with, okay, well, you either have that or you have a digital copy, that's, I mean, 100% that's going to be the way it goes, because they can then claim, oh, we're doing our part from the environment by not creating more plastic waste, by, and they can spin it however they want. Because, less stuff cluttering up the planet. I mean, it's too late now, but, it's a nice idea. And I think you're going to see Disney, Warner Brothers, and Universal. They'll probably be the three that are left standing in the next 10 years. Because, I don't know, Paramount really just don't have too much. And Sony, their stuff has been dwindling for a while. And you do wonder, there was that genuine stuff about, will they just sell on Spider-Man to Disney? Yeah. And they've kind of stuck to their guns on that, and they've come to this agreement. But it kind of always felt like they were the underdogs in that. They're both mega conglomerations, they're both huge evil Death Stars. It's just that one of them is the Starkiller base from the new Star Wars movies and is the size of 15 different planets put together, and is eviler.
Well, speaking of Marvel,
nice and cheery.
Speaking of Disney, it kind of like nicely slides into the next topic, which is,
now let's get excited about Death Star.
Yeah,
Marvel.
Now that I've called space Nazis, let's move on.
There was a lot of stuff that came out. There's a lot of stuff that came out about Star Wars. Just when I started to think that kind of like they started to kind of like mellow out with Star Wars, and it's kind of like you're going to be running with what you've got at the minute, they go, boom, here's it for the rest of your life. And they gave us a bit of a sneak peek into some more Marvel projects that they've got on the way. So
can I just before we get into this, can I just ask, I'm not watching the comments here, has all the commenters just shut up for the last half an hour?
I think they've all gone to bed.
Pretty much.
So we've got all of these are the projects for Marvel coming up. Was there anything that particularly excited you that you weren't already either A, aware of, or B, excited for anyway? I mean, that last one with a question mark seemed very good.
Well, that's Guardians of the Galaxy 3, isn't it? Because it wasn't on that list.
Yeah. I think mine's Loki, and I think I was disappointed with Falcon. I don't think it... I think I watched the Falcon trailer first, and the Winter Soldier. Yeah. And then I watched Loki after, and I don't know, it just felt a bit light and day for me. Felt Loki felt a bit more, I don't know, different and original and in its own sort of environment, whereas Falcon just, I don't know, just didn't wow me or get me invested.
Yeah, I think the Falcon and the Winter Soldier looked very Marvel. It looked very much of what you've had previously. Whilst I think the chemistry between those two work really well and they bounce off each other quite well, I get the feeling that it could feel quite boring quite quickly because of the repetitiveness of it. So I'm not that buzzed by it. I'm more than happy to be proved wrong because a lot of the time when I watch a Marvel thing and I'm like, oh, it's going to be all right or it's going to be crap, I'm usually surprised by it. It usually pleasantly surprises me. So I'm happy for it to prove me wrong. I really like the look of Loki. I think that looks great. I think that Hiddleston does a really, really good job with Loki, and anything with Owen Wilson with a mustache in it is got my approval. But the one that from the trailers, WandaVision, I know that was going to be a trip anyway. That was going to be a trip. It looks really, really intriguing because it feels like they can literally do anything that they want with it. Yeah. And with that free reign, it allows them to be really, really creative and think and go really, really outside the box with it. Obviously, they've got a direction that they're going in. And I think it's going to tie heavily into the future releases of the cinematic universe as well, especially with the whole Spider-Man 3 thing and the Doctor Strange thing. I think these are all going to tie in with each other very, very well eventually. But I think that WandaVision could be setting the groundwork for things to come in the future for the cinematic universe, whereas the rest probably will fit in somewhere along the larger picture. Because it seems like the cinematic universe is getting a little bit more kind of like cosmic and a little bit more magical rather than just kind of like I know that previously, been dealing with Thanos, who's an alien, but you see what I mean. But yeah, so I'm quite excited by the ones that we've seen so far. I'm really, really excited for Blade, if I'm being honest. I know that we haven't heard much about it other than the casting, but that casting choice has got me buzzed for it. But yeah, I'm super excited for the re-release of Blade.
So, a couple of things. WandaVision, like, it looks like it could be really interesting, especially if I hope they pull off. So Tom King wrote a Vision storyline, and there's a book just called Vision, and it's incredible. And it's basically about Vision creating his own family because he wants to just be normal, and he tries to live as this like normal guy down the street, and but his children and his wife don't realize that they are just androids. And as they start to realize what's going on, like, things start getting more and more messed up, and it's like this incredible thing. And I hope that they kind of use that as kind of an inspiration point and just kind of like flip it to be like, this is Wanda's doing instead. As far as Falcon and Winter Soldier goes, I thought it looked all right. Like, I quite like Anthony Mackie, and Sebastian Stan doesn't really talk. I don't think I remember Bucky talking that much. So it's going to be interesting to see how they kind of bounce off each other. But I thought what was quite obvious is they put that bit in right at the end where he's kind of going through all the canyons, purely just to go, oh, look, yes, this is a TV show, but this is movie style.
And you know that's going to be episode 1 as well of the show. That's going to be an episode 1 of, like you said, this is laying down the groundwork of, look what we can do even on TV. And that's why I said that it feels very much like what we've had before. It feels just very Marvel-y. It feels very superhero-y, kind of like just very Marvel-esque. So that's why it kind of like lacked any kind of, well, not lacked interest, but it kind of made me be less interested than the rest of them, because the rest of them feel like they're trying to do something a little bit different, whereas this feels a lot more of the same.
Yeah, I could do some same.
Oh, don't get me wrong, same has worked for them so far. I mean, same has been great so far. I'm happy for them to prove me wrong, but the other things just looked a little bit more interesting.
Well, the Loki trailer I thought looks fine, but I did just think this looks like Marvel just being like, we can't let this cash cow die.
Yeah.
Could be true.
It seemed like that to me. It just been like, okay. The main thing that I quite enjoyed was just seeing Loki in a normal suit.
Mhm.
That's what I enjoyed most. Just
cool.
normal on Loki. What else was in there though?
What
They
if-
didn't say,
the
say anything.
trailer for the What If series.
Yeah.
Which,
Yeah, I saw
Yeah.
someone just mention that down below.
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, Brian mentioned it. And that's another interesting concept because, again, What If is based around what if this was this or what if that was that. So it's literally, it's limitless.
Some really
Yeah.
good stories as well
What
that go off that.
So yeah, there's a lot of good things coming up. I'm not too sure about the whole holiday, the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special
Why
thing
not?
got going on. Like, I don't know.
I think James Gunn said he's been begging to do it for a long time, so it's something he's.
Yeah, he's
for
said
a
that
while.
he's been pestering Kevin Feige for about 4 years. He said.
So what do we think to?
I mean, for me, the thing that sticks out, we've seen no footage from it. All we have is a logo. But the Fantastic Four movie getting John Watts, I think, is an absolute. I think John Watts is just a director who understands how this thing needs to be assembled, and he's a director who has come from low budget indie movies and then gone into a big franchise and made 2 really high grossing Spider-Man movies, soon to be a third, you would presume, and now has just been given the keys to the kingdom to start this other thing. And you kind of feel like it's that thing where if it goes badly and they just can't make it work again, then they can just go, we'll sideline that and we'll pretend that never happened. And they'll just ignore the fact. They won't try and tie it in too much from the get-go, because what if it doesn't work?
Yeah.
Apparently, there's a. I think I've seen. I say apparently there is an Easter egg for Fantastic Four in Far From Home. I don't know if you've seen it. There's a still of poster and it looks like the creation of the Baxter Building. With some writing, I think it says like 1, 2, 3. You like something about what's to come or something like that. So they've obviously had the plan of building it into that kind of world, and I don't think it's at all surprising that it's gone to the same director. You know what I mean? They've had that plan in for a while.
Them being a New York-based thing as well kind of makes sense in that regard, I think.
Yeah.
But he's someone who I think understands how to get the best out of that kind of material and can make it fun and yet also really engaging.
Yeah,
I think it's been a while since we had a great Spider-Man film until those recent 2, I think, and I'm more than happy with that. I think the rest of the stuff, it all looks, and this is the thing, is that we probably need to stop saying, oh, well, this is just TV, but look at what we can do. All of these are basically movies in 10 parts or 12 parts, because they've all got the budget of a $200 million movie.
Yeah,
it's
like Mandalorian. Like
exactly.
Watching a movie into 1 hour or 45-minute or half-hour segments. It's not TV budget anymore when you're dealing with Disney. It is movie budget on a larger scale.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting Marvel.
Speaking of Spider-Man, what?
Very excited about this.
What are we thinking? What are we thinking about this? Because there's a lot of talk about Maguire seen on set, and obviously we've got Doc Ock back. It's been confirmed that we're getting Kirsten Dunst and Emma Stone.
I'm convinced this will all be last act / post kind of credit sort of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm convinced that this isn't the main bulk of the story.
We've also got Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx said he's coming back as Electro as well. So that's a big ensemble to get in just a post credit.
Because I think it's all Spider-Man 4. Like,
I think some of it will just be flicking through.
So yeah, you got to remember you've got what's his name? Doctor Strange is going to be a character in this one as well. So I get the feeling that it might be passing through dimensions, and it will just be a case of you'll see them doing something for a couple of seconds and then pass through another one. Or
the Jamie Fox thing not for Into the Spider-Verse 2?
This is the problem. Like, if you're
I don't
doing
I don't think it was ever specified.
Okay.
like if you're doing Spider-Verse in Spider-Man 3, we've just had probably the best example of a Spider-Verse movie you can get.
Totally
Like,
agree.
Into Spider-Verse is wonderful. Like, and how do you do live action and not harken back to memories of just, oh, we've kind of seen this?
And that's
I
why I
don't-
don't think it will be full Spider-Verse. I think that you'll get an element of interdimensional drifting through with Doctor Strange, and I think you will see different versions of different Spider-Men and the characters that have been created prior, but not as lead characters or even that are relevant to the story. It would just be a case of you pass through and you see them doing something. You might see I don't know, Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst there fighting Doc Ock or something like that. I don't know, but I don't think it will be. I don't think they're going to be integral to the story. Put it that way. I don't think that you're going to get a Spider-Verse as such. I think that you will see them through different universes, but I don't think that they're going to have a critical role in the outcome of the movie.
As long as Doctor Strange opens a portal and Paul Giamatti's Rhino ends up in actual Spider-Man.
Spidey-Man.
Actual Spidey-Man. That's all I need.
That's all we need.
Or it could just be Strange, just saying, look, if this happens, this is if you want to go back and change something, this is what happens.
It's Strange going, look, you failed twice before Spider-Man.
Yeah.
We can't let this happen again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Because at the end of the other one, where they mentioned his identity, obviously he wants to go and change that so no one knows who he is, maybe. And then by him going back and changing that.
I saw something that could tie in quite good with that about the whole Daredevil thing. So you've got Peter Parker being sat down and questioned about being Spider-Man, and then you get Matt Murdock coming in, taking the case on, and going, "Don't answer it. I'm now your attorney. I'm now your lawyer." And there's your introduction into Matt Murdock into the universe of Spider-Man.
Affleck is finally in the MCU, exactly.
Damn right.
God,
If you're bringing that Charlie in, bring in Affleck as well.
can you imagine?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then you get Favreau in the mix as well.
Dual rolling.
Right.
But
Bring
yeah,
Colin Farrell back.
there's God, no, Jesus Christ. But yeah, I think it opens up a realm of possibilities, but I just don't want them to go too hard too soon.
They'll find a way of having fun with it, I think.
Yeah.
And no doubt,
More than
no
anything
doubt,
else.
no doubt.
But also, are these all being confirmed for Spider-Man 3, or are they being confirmed for Spider-Man 3 / Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness?
I think it's
Because I wouldn't be surprised if Raimi's going, I'll take all my old boys back in mine as well.
I think it's all Spider-Man.
we all know Bruce Campbell's going to be in Doctor Strange somewhere.
Well, yeah, he's going to be the villain, isn't he? This is not confirmed yet, is it?
But you've also got
He's been confirmed as being in it, though.
Oh, of course, Bruce Campbell's going to be in it. He's Sam Raimi.
He's always in it. He's always in it.
You've also got Morbius. So you can't forget Morbius because we've had it.
And Venom 2.
It's confirmed from the don't. It's confirmed from the trailers.
They're all tied in.
That Keaton is in Morbius as well. So it must mean that he's in the same.
And the Carnage solo movie that's going to come out in
And
2
you've
years.
got Carnage as well. Yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff coming out Spider-Man-esque, and I think that it's very, very ambitious and daring. I just don't want it to fail because I love Spider-Man so much.
Opportunity they've got for it to succeed. Like, of all of it so far, you've got Marvel money funding it, basically, and all your kind of pieces are falling into place. Like, this is, out of all the times they've tried to do this, and they've tried to do it, twice already, and they've rushed into it twice already, this is probably your best chance for it to succeed.
Yeah.
And it might fall on its face, but it might also work incredibly well.
I saw a a tweet that says, "So in order for me to understand what's going, well, all these new people in Spider-Man, do I have to watch Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3?" The way, and I'm like, yes, you do. Yes, you do.
But
yeah, a lot of exciting stuff coming out. So, Star Wars.
Just quickly, my most excited one on the last one, by the way, is Ms. Marvel, because I think that's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. Because I think not only is it a great character, but also the actress they've cast seems to be quite with it. Like she
quite
what's going on, and also it's definitely the kind of thing that I'm like, okay, this could be something really good and something different to what we've seen.
Yeah,
because Miss Marvel is a younger character who's kind of this bright-eyed, bushy-tailed kind of outlook on life and superheroes in general. But also it's a massive step in representation for people who haven't seen themselves on the screen before. And I think it's a character who is a very, very well put together character. I really like it, and I'm really excited to see it.
I agree, totally agree. And also, as long as they cast Keanu Reeves for Moon Knight, I'll be happy as that as well.
When they said Oscar Isaac for Moon Knight, like that.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
Please.
So Star Wars. So there's a lot announced for Star Wars as well. One of them I was really happy to see off the back of The Mandalorian was the Ahsoka. I thought that Ahsoka was represented really, really well in that episode of Mandalorian. For anyone that's familiar with the character from the Clone Wars. But yeah, I'm quite looking forward to that. Lando, are we going to get? I don't know. Is this going to be a Lando that we've seen before? Is it going to be one? Is it going to be different? Is it? What do you think?
I don't know if he's that interesting enough to have a series.
Well, I hated Star Wars solo movies, so
it was a fucking terrible film.
Mm-hmm.
The Squadron.
They still want to build that back up again.
I suppose the big one, forgetting the rest of them, the big one is obviously you got the man himself, haven't you? You got Obi-Wan Kenobi, and that's going to be
Hayden Christensen.
Yeah, that's going to be the main one because you've got Hayden Darth coming back.
I think he's actually going to be playing his character from Jumper. I've got an insider at Disney, and they've told me that might be the case.
So he's come back, and it's been confirmed that he is going to be playing Darth Vader. But this is set 10 years. From my understanding, Obi-Wan Kenobi is set 10 years after Revenge of the Sith, right? So 10 years after Episode 3. Does that make sense to everyone? Yeah,
I'm aware of 10 years.
Yeah. I'm just making sure that the timeline is correct.
Yeah.
So Hayden Christensen is going to be Darth Vader, not out of suit, because Darth Vader has to have his suit on pretty much to survive.
Force flashbacks. And they will refer to him as Vader instead because you can't refer to him as Anakin anymore.
So yeah, this was my question, because you can't have Darth Vader without having James Earl Jones.
They're going to dub his voice over Hayden Christensen.
Yeah, you don't have one without the other. So my question is Hayden Christensen going to come back simply just to be in a Darth Vader suit and then not to hear him?
There'll be moments where you
see his face.
Or to see his face.
You'll see his face.
Will you?
Yeah, of course you will.
Definitely.
Force Ghost, I reckon. I reckon it's all going to be Force Ghost. I
Or
know he's not dead yet, but Force Ghost.
Or they'll just do another voice.
No, you can't. You can't do
they
that.
won't not do
You
James
can't, but they could.
They'll modulate it somehow.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to seeing like young Vader.
Yeah, in Prime Vader. I mean, we got Rogue One. You saw peak Vader in his ferocity, and I absolutely adored it. So you give me more ferocious, scary as shit Vader that everyone is terrified of in the original trilogy. That's what I want to see, because Vader doesn't get to see Vader live up to his reputation, really.
Yeah, there's so many things that are written that are basically like, oh, this is Vader. Literally, like, there's ones where like Vader lands on a planet and then gets like attacked by all the locals and just basically murders an entire planet because he's just that much of a badass. And I'm like, yeah, let me see that. Let me see just
that's what I want to see.
Skywalker continuing his thing of murdering everyone including
That's what I want to see. I want to see this entity that everyone is so terrified of.
Mhm.
Rather than him just being that thing. I want to see why they're terrified of
It
him. I
could
want
be
to
a
see
build
Amy
up
make
suit
himself.
before it goes to proper Vader. So the modulation could be different before he goes full on.
Well,
Vader.
that he can't do that because as soon as he gets created as Vader in episode 3, he's got James Earl Jones's voice. So
I like the kid idea, though. I like it being like over time his voice changing. It starts with like Gilbert Gottfried. That's not enough.
Okay, so let's move on to the next topic.
Just quickly, the best Star Wars announcement is a droid story because I'm going to assume that's about my boy the Gonk droid.
Gonk droid, standard. It's gonna be a droid story's got to be literally one of the worst ideas ever to come out of a Star Wars franchise.
If it's about my boy Gonk, then it's the best.
And just Squadron totally ripped off Top Gun's music.
My
They
favorite
just
thing
put
about
Top Gun music into Star Wars music, and I was like, "What the fuck's going on here?"
about that, which was in that trailer, Patty Jenkins awkwardly trying to put on an outfit just out of screen.
Yeah, struggling to get in it.
To put it on.
So we've got the next thing. So we've got Deathstroke. So this is not new news, but there's been a lot of discussion around from Deathstroke himself around
I've got a video
around Batman. So let's just familiarize ourselves with the new look of Deathstroke in Justice League. What do we think? What do we think?
It looks like a Deathstroke.
Like a young Stephen Lang.
What do we think? What do we think to the Mohawk?
Got to make it different. You can't have Joss's Deathstroke, can you? So you've got to make it look different. Like Snyder was never going to have Deathstroke not have a Mohawk. So this was definitely his decision the entire time.
No, I've got a video for you now. Actually, I just want to see what your thoughts are.
Hit us with it.
One sec, then.
See this shit.
This is going to get copyright struck by Warner's.
No, it won't. It's not a Warner video. Right,
is it going to be? Is it a bit of blue? We're past Watershed anyway, so.
Right, can you see it?
Yeah. Can't hear it though, mate. Yeah, can't hear it.
Can't hear it?
No.
No sound?
No. Because the sound's coming from your microphone. You have to change the sound source on your settings on StreamYard.
Forget that then.
Give us the long and the short of it then. Go on, Nick.
Basically, he talks about that he was originally Superman for Man of Steel. He couldn't do that because of True Blood. He had a contract with True Blood. And
he was cast as Superman.
He was going to be before Cavill as Man of Steel, but because he was contracted for True Blood, he was unable to do it. And then he talks about how Snyder then stayed in contact with him, got him a meeting with Affleck to do the Ben Affleck movie. Obviously, that fell through. And then he said he's been working on the Army of the Dead or Darkness, the new Snyder one.
Army of the Dead, yeah.
Yeah, they were talking about Deathstroke, and everything that's going to be in the Snyder cut is all Joe's idea in terms of the hair, the whole look. Snyder just said, you can come back, but if you want to change anything, you can change it. So he's changed the hair, and he said he's put Easter eggs on his suit to see what fans can pick up. He said, I love the fact that fans can pause it and see if there's any Easter eggs or anything like that.
I wanted them to be real Easter eggs.
A few little ones. But yeah, and then he discusses, well, he doesn't discuss it, but they say, is there anything else coming? And he more or less hints that there's going to be a few things with Deathstroke coming up. But I think my intriguing thing was the Superman thing. I didn't know he was up for the Man of Steel, the first person originally that Snyder wanted. I always thought it was Cavill. So that interested me quite a lot. What do you
Yeah, I'm
guys think?
quite interested. I'm quite intrigued about this whole discussion around what the Batman was going to be like as Affleck's version of events when it was his baby before it got canned, because it sounds like it was going to be quite a dark thing, really, with Deathstroke. I don't know. Have you read this, Alex and Andy? No.
No.
You said it was going to be like the game.
Yeah, the premise behind it was going to be like Deathstroke is just going around. He knows who Batman is, and he's going around and he's literally just murdering everyone that he knows and loves just to get to Batman. So it was going to be quite a dark, quite gritty, kind of like psychologically thrilling kind of movie. It sounded like it could have been quite cool, but you know,
He said it was on very much the vibe of Mike Douglas's The Game. If you've seen that.
I'm just a big fan how you said, this Batman film sounds dark. Like the new one looks like it's all, sunshine and rainbows.
I'm saying that the new one. I'm more than happy with the new one. The look of the new one that we've got. You know my thoughts on it. I can't sing its praises enough. But it did sound like it was going in the direction that this one's taken, where this dark tone that it doesn't seem like it's going to be holding any punches really. And with Ben Affleck doing it, Ben Affleck's he's good. He's a good writer. He knows to write how to write good things. So for some things, but and he seemed to, yeah. But anyway, it seemed quite interesting. I don't think I've spoken to you two about the next thing I want to talk about, and it's Justice League related. Probably in the same realm as Deathstroke as well, but recently, my fan club leader, Mr. Leto, has shaved off his.
He leads your fan club.
He's the leader of his own fan club.
Oh, okay. So he seems weird. You should lead the fan club.
Like I think Jared Leto's
he's the deity. He's the deity, and
so what's he done?
I'm the leader of the fan club. So he's recently shaved off his beard. So we know that he had a big beard. He grew a big bushy beard. He's still got long hair, and obviously this is what we were treated to.
This is from the Purple Lamborghini music video. Yeah,
yes.
We all remember.
But it's come out that Snyder has said that he shot all his scenes for Justice League. That he's going to be in it.
Before he shaved his beard.
Before he shaved his beard.
Yeah.
Hobo Joker.
Right. Okay.
Hobo Joker. I'm there for that.
And it's been discussed that this Joker is going to be more of a road weary Joker.
Of course.
He's going to have, one would presume, long hair because Leto's got a head of hair.
They CGI it out like they did with the mustache.
But the other strange
50 million quid to CGI out a beard.
the other strange thing is that it's been rumored that the tattoos and the grill have gone.
Oh no!
Yeah,
the famous grill of the Joker.
I love him when he doesn't have "ha ha ha" written on his chest.
How do I know that he's damaged?
How is he going to smile if he hasn't got it tattooed on his hand?
All right, Perry, you can shut up now.
How do we know Batman's punched?
I don't want your opinion anymore. Your opinion isn't welcome here.
I mean, the thing with Joker in Suicide Squad was it was both show and tell storytelling, because you could see the words on him, but you could also read them.
The thing is, you knew he was damaged.
What do we think to a kind of Joker that is potentially hobo?
Honestly.
Hey, if it's a gritty look at the homelessness problem in Gotham City, yes. I don't think it's going to be that, but I'd love it to be.
Honestly, like all of the Snyder Cut news, I'm there just like, yeah, sure, why not? Like, none of this is exactly what you had, but yeah, just pull it in. Why not? Just keep shoveling the coals.
I think at this point, he's basically like, well, this is my last chance to actually do this with this film.
Yeah.
So I'll put everything I've got in here.
Well, he has basically come out and said that his version of it and the way that it's going to end, it's literally not going to tie into anything. It is the movie that he shot. So all of its endings, everything that happens into it that was going to potentially lead on to something that has already changed is still going to happen. So it's very much going to be whatever he wants this to be. Damn the rest of anything else that has come out prior to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you're right. I think it is just a case of now, whatever you hear about this, it's a case of of course this is going to be in it, and of course this is going to happen because that's exactly what he wants, and that's what fans want.
Damn what happened before and after is very much the Warner Brothers motto.
Well,
when
I
it
think,
comes to DC.
I think the whole Flash. I think the whole Flashpoint
man.
stuff is going to. It's going to give them a chance to just go. Well, we're just redoing everything anyway. Why not?
It still will never happen.
Telling you, well, I have
Like-
faith.
I think the latest release date for that is 2077. That's very cyberpunk.
I think Ezra's going to choke someone out and get sacked.
Well, he's still allowed to be in it, isn't he? So far be it from us.
Yeah.
Like, the thing is, like, Joker was never going to be in Justice League. Like, even if Snyder was there for the whole thing, Joker was never going to be there. But now he's got his cut. He's like, and the fans are like, "Oh, I bet he was going to put Joker." And he's like, "Yeah, actually." Like,
Which
he's
just goes
literally,
to show that
he's reading through the message boards and going like, "Actually, yeah, why don't we put Joker in this?" Someone called up Jared.
it
It
goes
is.
to show that Ant's letter writing campaign really worked.
I
Look,
mean,
he's like, "Oh, the
I-
fans got-
I
My
cannot
different
believe
styles
there's
of
anyone else
handwriting.
in the world who wants this.
my different styles of handwriting really works to show that
It
you
must be different people. It's coming from the same email address.
But I think the idea was, I think that Snyder said that the idea that Joker was that this is going to be the way he's doing it, because I believe it's all going to be as part of the Nightmare sequence, like Injustice. But who knows? Who knows? You could easily say, yes, it was my idea all along, when you've had so many years and so many different opinions telling you what you could have done.
Who's going to prove otherwise when you literally have no proof to the contrary?
And if DC if DC fandom is anything to go by, everyone that works for Zack Snyder literally licks the ring piece around his bumhole anyway. So it's who knows? I'm looking forward to seeing Jared Leto as Joker again. Okay, I might be the only one left, but I don't care. I don't care anymore.
I'm not gonna hate on you for loving what you love.
I love what I love. I am a little bit concerned about the no tattoos and grill though, because I kind of liked it.
I think I'll just be interested how he's going to explain it.
Yeah, it'll be like, oh, I got laser removal. Don't even worry about it.
I got some new dentures and some laser removal.
He's like,
Really
"What?
long locks of
Joker.
green.
Now you don't have J tattooed on your cheek. How do we know what your name starts with? I just don't know."
And they'll go, hang on, you look like Jason Todd?
He'll have a speech bubble on his hand.
And he just writes stuff on Sharpie.
He's walking around like... Right, I think we're done.
That's everything. We covered it all.
I think that's everything. I think
Talked for a long time. The commenters loved it, I'm sure.
Barry said you gotta give it to Ant. Keeps on putting his money on that three-legged greyhound. hey, leave him alone. All right, he did his best with what he did, with what he had, and what he had wasn't good.
I truly believe that he did his best.
Listen, right? I don't even know, because they were talking about the
rise to it.
They've been talking about, and I don't agree with the fact that people get to go and get the second movie because the first one flopped. But they've been talking about the Ayer cut, and if David Ayer releases the movie that he wanted to, then there's going to be a lot more Joker.
Mate, Ayer can say whatever he wants because he knows that ain't ever coming. Like, Ayer is there,
it
oh
was
yeah, like there's all this
120 minutes of Joker.
They filmed enough to have a full movie by themselves, him and Harley.
It was a one-man Suicide Squad.
I think he needs it after that Shia film bombed, where he's like a Mexican gangster.
tax collector.
Yeah.
Did you watch that, Nick?
No, I haven't watched it yet.
Okay.
Any good?
Interesting. I've not watched it either. I thought it was more of, up you guys' alley, but
Yeah. I've not.
clearly not.
It's he got a lot of flack for it, didn't he? For
Yes, for appropriating sort of things.
Cultural appropriation, yeah.
He's got some more flack recently that we probably don't have time to get into today.
Yes, he has actually. Yeah.
So
yeah.
let's just
But
end the stream gracefully, shall
where
we?
controversy is, Sheer is never far behind.
And Talk and Review will be wading in to
Oh,
tear
yeah.
it apart.
Anyway, thank you very much for joining us this evening, boys. It's been a
Thank you for having
pleasure
us.
to have you.
Sorry for springing upon you.
No.
I always apologise for my appearance.
More than happy for you to join us whenever. That's why we ask you. But yeah, thanks very much for coming on. Nick, is there anything that you wanted to say before we head out? Or
No, I think if we don't speak to you before Christmas, have a wonderful Christmas.
Yeah, we don't know whether or not there's going to be a stream next week. Next week, with it being the 20th, so it's not that close to Christmas, but we might have some stuff on with it being Christmas and stuff like that. But we will let you know via the social medias beforehand to let you know if there is going to be another one. But either way, we'll let you know whether there is or isn't. But thank you very much for joining us, everyone, in the comments. It's been greatly appreciated, and we love you, and we hope you have a nice evening and enjoy the rest of your evening if you've got a rest of your evening or going to bed, and have a nice week as well. Most people break up for Christmas by the end of this week, so yeah. But all right,
Bon voyage.
Right.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
See you later.
Trumpets, everyone.